Hello, everyone. This is Yuko. In this channel, I will be sharing information in English about events happening in China that may not be widely known in other countries. I've gathered information from various sources, and I'd appreciate your comments on the video content. Since English is not my native language, I'm using an AI speaker to read the content in English. If you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing to the channel and offering your support. Now, let me introduce you to the wild world of China. Today, I'll focus on the major French supermarket chain, Carrefour. Carrefour once entered Japan but eventually withdrew. On the other hand, in China, Carrefour has expanded with numerous stores, including several in Shanghai, becoming a well-known supermarket for Japanese residents in Shanghai. Currently, Carrefour is owned by the Chinese company Suning, which is also known in Japan for acquiring the electronics retail store Laox. However, Suning faced financial difficulties due to changes in the Chinese market environment. In 2019, Suning acquired approximately 80% of Carrefour China's shares for around $4.8 billion. As time passed, by 2022, Suning encountered challenges in fulfilling the remaining 20% payment to the French Carrefour. This led to a dispute, and an arbitration process was initiated. The arbitration center ordered Suning to pay around $1 billion to Carrefour. However, Suning contested this decision, claiming significant changes in the situation since the original contract. Carrefour's performance in China declined over time, and in 2022, many stores faced the threat of closure. Suning, struggling with financial instability, couldn't fulfill the promised amount to Carrefour. This triggered the conflict, and Suning is challenging the arbitration outcome. As of September 30, 2023, Carrefour in China has significantly reduced the number of stores, with only 10 remaining. These closures highlight the challenges faced by traditional brick-and-mortar businesses in China amid the widespread adoption of online shopping, expected for retail recovery post the COVID-19 pandemic. This situation underscores the common issues that companies operating physical stores in China are confronting. In Carrefour's case, closures are not only due to the impact of the pandemic but also a substantial increase in closures afterward. In summary, the current state of Carrefour in China reflects the extensive challenges traditional retailers face in the rapidly expanding era of online business. The specific issues between Suning and Carrefour illustrate the complexity of business relationships in the Chinese market. Currently, there are services that deliver products to your home, and not many people bother to go to physical stores. This trend has been present even before the pandemic, leading companies managing physical stores to devise various strategies. For instance, Carrefour attempted to expand membership-based stores. Similar to Costco in Japan, where you become a member before shopping and gain certain benefits. Although the exact benefits are unclear to me, examples like Costco exist. Carrefour China also experimented with this by opening its first membership-based store in Guizhou, Shanghai, not particularly affluent or with a high concentration of foreign residents. They also opened one in the central part of Shanghai near Suhong Park and Zhongshan Park. The plan was to increase the number of membership-based stores to 103 years. However, when people became members and visited the stores, they noticed a shortage of products. Instead of being well stocked, the shelves were noticeably empty. This raised questions not just about sales strategies but also about Carrefour's financial situation. Angry members demanded refunds, especially when Carrefour imposed usage restrictions on their cards, creating confusion about the purpose of becoming a member. In the end, the system was deemed ineffective, and the membership-based stores were closed. The 3-year plan to open 100 stores was abandoned. Amid worsening financial conditions, reports emerged of unpaid salaries to employees. Additionally, there were discussions about the bankruptcy of their business model. Carrefour in China, apart from selling products itself, also rents out spaces in their huge shopping malls to other companies. This business model, heavily emphasized due to Suning's involvement, involves leasing spaces to other businesses and generating income through rent. It's like they're managing giant boxes and leasing space to other companies instead of dealing with the inventory risk themselves. Originally, Suning's entry into the electronics retail market led to this business model being prioritized. In essence, they make profits through rental income. However, tenants end up paying much higher rents because they have to pay for overlapping spaces. Carrefour initially paid rent for its store expansion, so if you wanted to do business within Carrefour, you'd end up paying much more in rent than opening your store independently. As a result, if you can't attract customers to Carrefour, paying rent and running your own store becomes challenging. So, the rent is high, and the sales aren't increasing, making the business unsustainable. Consequently, the spaces within the large stores for renting to tenants are not getting filled. Everything seems to be going wrong. When Suning acquired Carrefour's shares, there were 210 stores, but despite it being only about 3 years since then, around 200 stores have closed. Only 10 stores remain. Moreover, Suning is facing its own financial challenges. The core of Suning's business is in electronics retail, which is even more challenging than running supermarkets. Unlike supermarkets that still sell meat and vegetables, which people often buy in physical stores, the retail of electronic products involves significant fixed costs in operating physical stores. In contrast, online sales can offer lower prices since they don't have such costs. Therefore, the business model of operating large stores with many employees doesn't work well. As mentioned earlier, companies might not even be selling their own products but just renting out space, adding to the difficulty. Let's take a look at the data. As of December 31, 2022, there were 1,435 stores, and by September 30, 2023, the number had decreased to 1,284, a reduction of approximately 200 stores. This decline illustrates the challenging situation in electronics retail, forcing Suning to downsize its stores. In essence, Suning, facing its own financial difficulties, seems to lack the financial capacity to pay the remaining amount owed to Carrefour. In such a situation, contracts become precarious. While legal measures for breach of contract might be considered in other countries, such options are limited in China. The French Carrefour parent company, adhering to the contract, finds itself unable to receive the payment. Returning to the earlier discussion, Suning's financial instability raises the possibility that the French Carrefour parent company might request Suning to stop using the Carrefour brand. This is not merely a financial problem. As mentioned before, despite the ambitious plan to expand membership-based stores and having attracted many members, those who became members have significant grievances against Carrefour. This affects the existing brand value of Carrefour. If this dissatisfaction continues, Carrefour could be perceived as a second-rate or third-rate company. While this is currently a situation within China, considering that there are Chinese people around the world, a damaged brand image in China could have a global impact. Therefore, it is highly likely that Carrefour might request Suning to cease using the Carrefour brand in China. That concludes our discussion for today. Until next time.